Good day and welcome back to GP Outdoors. We're a couple of days away from Christmas. I hope you're all ready. I'm sure the kids are excited. Trees up, stockings are hung by the chimney with care, and the little ones are probably in the kitchen baking cookies for Santa. I thought in the spirit of the season I'd take you for a little trip through the forest to get down to our target today. Got a little adventure. If you're new to the channel, we don't have a lot of big diameter stuff up here. You know, we're lucky if we get the odd 16 or 18 inch, and every once in a while we'll see a 20. But we found a big target, and it was time for that tree to come down. In addition to that, we don't have a lot of oak up here for some reason. So it's very rare to find an oak tree, let alone one that's up to about 28 inches in diameter. The base of the tree was rotting out pretty bad, so Guy decided it was time to take it down so that we could harvest as much firewood out of it as we could, as opposed to leaving it there to eventually continue to rot and drop on its own. And she's big. So, in the spirit of the season, the boys were calling each other and we decided it was time to go down and buck up a little bit of this tree at least and give the Eastonmade Access a little bit of a test on the big stuff. In true fashion, Husky Bob just couldn't wait. He was pretty excited, so he headed out into the forest well ahead of us, and he started bucking up the tree, but of course couldn't get all the way through it on the ground. So once again, the grapple comes in handy. I can roll over that trunk a little bit. You can probably see how rotted and how bad it is down at the bottom. So I think it was a good call on Guy's part to get it down and start bucking it up so we could take that firewood. As you folks know, most everybody around here except myself all heat with wood, so this is an important find, and trying to save or harvest as much of what is pretty much about to be a dead tree is kind of important, and it's good planning for the future. The tree flipped over now. Husky Bob goes to town and finishes off his butt cuts, and you can see the size of that stump just to the left of your screen, right beside Bobby's ATV. You can tell Husky Bob took his 2-in-1 sharpener to that chain this morning before he got here because he knew he was going to need it. I think a little bit of the excitement today comes from the fact that it's such a large diameter tree for us. We don't see it often. And as well, we've got the Eastonmade Access now, which is going to give us an opportunity to split it up on top of a table instead of the old way where we'd have to take an old conventional splitter, throw it up vertically, and all crawl around on the ground in the snow trying to push that round around to split it down on the ground. Bobby's got her bucked. Now it's time for the grapple to do its job. Not a lot of room back here, as you can see, because we're pretty deep back in Guy's forest. But there we go. This is one big granddaddy. So I'm going to take these out one round at a time, because I've got a little ways to get back to the trail where the trailer lies. I can assure you, I wouldn't be trying this not for a minute if I didn't have those tire chains on the back, because I'm pretty sure I'd probably have a hard time getting in and even a hard time trying to get myself out. Things are a little tight in here, so there's a lot of turning, a lot of little 3 or 4 point turns to get it in and around different obstacles, stumps, trees, rocks. And I begin my little track back out to where Guy's parked the trailer. A lot of folks have asked me questions, especially new tractor owners, about the feel or the tilt of the tractor and how I know when it's tilting too far that it might tilt over or tip over. Take a look right here. Watch that rear. Right there, the feeling I had in my gut is that that tractor was about to fall all the way over. But when you look at camera, you'll see it wasn't that big a divot or a big undulation, but the feeling you get sitting in the cab is far more exaggerated than that. Either way, I don't like to take chances, so I jump out of the cab and I walk around in that area, and you'll see now I'm backing out, and I found a little clearing just beside it. I walked around to make sure it was reasonably flat, and now you'll see I found that flat spot, and I'm going to try to avoid that undulation that I fell into the first time. And that now becomes my new track in and out of the little area back to the trail. Guy's patiently waiting, and he's looking forward to having a whole lot more of this oak in his woodshed. 28 inches. Let's see how the axis performs. Yeah, we're all pretty excited. And hey, like I told you, even neighbor Ralph is giving a call in the mornings to see what everybody's up to. Nobody wants to miss the action. Guy's on his way back, the trailer's full, so is the bucket. And our good friend Husky Bob reminds me that it just doesn't make sense to drive back with the grapple empty. So we grab a few more smaller diameter rounds for me to throw into the grapple of my tractor. No sense wasting a trip. So we're going to head back up to the woodshed where we've put the axis out at the front entrance. And we're going to see how well it does handling these big 28-inch rounds. Oh yeah, they're big. But you can kind of see the excitement in Bob and Guy's face, because they don't often get a chance to split stuff this big. And it's heavy. That axis has a huge log lift table, and we need it today. Husky Bob couldn't contain his excitement, so of course he jumped right in there to grab that first round. Boy, I'll tell you, this sure beats fighting with it on the ground in the snow with a vertical splitter. Look at the size of those pies. That oak is going to make for some good burning. It's going to keep our good friend Guy warm and comfortable for quite some time, I think. Yeah, they're big, but that wedge is nice and tall, so it takes a good slice out of every pie. Look at that smile on Husky Bob's face. He's got that determined look, and he's pretty happy, and I think he likes what he sees. That access slices through this oak like butter. A number of you good folks asked me on the last video why there was a helicopter hovering around on top of Guy's place. Well, we had a big storm that rolled through here. I think it was probably the tail end of what came out of the US. And Guy and Bob were out of power for a number of days. And I think that was the hydro company following the distribution lines through the forest, trying to find the breaks or the problems. They eventually got their power back the next day. But that's another reason why pretty much everybody up here has a backup generator. The power goes out so often up here, especially throughout the winter. And I mean literally weekly or bi-weekly, the power goes out. You can almost count on it. I find it hard to believe that this axis is only rated at 14 tons. I think we put it through ash, maple, elm. Can't remember if we put beach through it or not. But now we're testing it out with the oak, and it has absolutely no problem slicing off those pies. I think in all our excitement, some of us or all of us were starting to get a little handsy around the old splitter. So I had to shut things down for a minute. We had to have a little safety talk, because you'll notice that hands are coming in and out while that wedge keeps moving. And you know, one of the things that both Guy and Bob taught me a long time ago is your hands are never in when the wedge is moving, whether it's down or up or in or out. It's kind of funny how excited you get just being able to operate a splitter like this. But it is absolutely a treat and a pleasure. Well, I knew it wouldn't take long. Husky Bob was having all the fun, and neighbor Ralph was just itching to give this access a try. That table is nice and wide, so it has no problem holding those 28-inch rounds. I've been very fortunate on the channel. This is the 9th splitter that I've had an opportunity to use and to test out on the channel so far. And on a more frequent basis, I'm repeatedly getting the same question from folks as to which one I like the best, or which one I think is the best. I honestly believe that the answer to that question lies with what type of an application you have on your property, or the manner in which you like to fell your trees and split your firewood. There's a lot of really good, well-built, quality splitters that I've had the benefit or the good fortune of being able to use. But you'll notice they are all, or a lot of them, are designed with some differences. Some that you may find as advantages and some that you may not. And I think it largely is prefaced on what type of a firewood processing system or method that you use at your place. So I'll do a video on that in the near future, and I'll try to get into some specifics to hopefully help frame or shape that discussion for you folks. Well, I know this video's gone just a little too long, but I appreciate it if you stuck around. I wanted to show you at least 3 or 4 of these big rounds and how the access performs. And from our perspective, it couldn't have performed better. Big table, wide table, long table, huge log lift for this big stuff. Had no problems lifting it. I think the only trouble we had was putting 2 or 3 sets of hands on it to try to get the log to move along. They were so heavy. Well, it's Christmas, so I wanted to wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas, all the best to you and your families, and all the best of success and happiness in 2022. I'm hoping it's going to be a better year and a good year for everyone. Thanks again for hanging around with me and supporting the channel over the year. Cheers.
Wow.
My name is Gord Potter, and you've been watching GP Outdoors.